Hi, Democrats. Today is Wednesday, November 9th, and it's time for the Chair's Daily Live. Happy Wednesday, or just Wednesday. So last night was mostly hard, right? And I've been talking to Democrats all over the state about how they feel and what they're thinking about. And I'm done being sad. We did not get the outcome that we were hoping for, but let's move on. Let's talk about where we need to be and what we need to talk about now. If we didn't get the outcomes that we were hoping for, I know I didn't get all of the outcomes that I was hoping for. What we need to do now is take information, learn what we can from that, and build for 2024. COVID knocked us on our heels, and we started kind of from scratch for this election season. We weren't ready. We hadn't been doing the building that we needed to be doing. But here's the thing. We know today on November 9th, 2022, that there's an election in November of 2024. And waiting until April of 2024 to start getting ready for that is not the time. It's not the right move. What we have to do now is work towards 2024, starting today, or maybe give yourself a day, give yourself a couple of days, but we need to start working towards 2024 now. I need you to search yourself and decide, what is it that you can do? Do you plan on running for office? Now is the time to start building up your network, start getting your family ready, start doing those kinds of things. Do you plan on helping build your county party? I heard from candidates that they struggled moving around from county to county. What we need to do is we need to build a more firm network of county parties, so that when candidates are looking for places to speak, that they can find them in every corner of our state. So you can help build our county parties. You can help recruit. Start looking around, start having conversations with your neighbors and friends and those folks that you admire. I'm going to start my plea early this year, and I'm going to ask you, start looking for folks that you can vote for in 2024. Don't wait on the party to give you your candidate. Don't wait to find who's going to be on your ballot. Start now looking for somebody to put on your ballot. Start now trying to be someone that you can put on your ballot. All hope is not lost, because here's the thing. Although we still have the same governor, although we still have the same governor, over 40% of Oklahomans voted for another option. Over 40% rejected our current governor and said no more. So he didn't, all the papers are saying that he breezed through and it was easy. He won. He didn't. Nearly half of Oklahomans said that they didn't want what he's selling. And we know what he's selling. He's selling division. He's selling corruption, and he's selling cronyism. What we have to do for the next 2 to 4 years is prepare ourselves for electing more folks in the state house. Prepare ourselves for electing more folks in municipal elections in 2024. And get our foundation solid, so that in 2026, we can get a Democrat elected to governor. I want to take a moment and I want to thank Joy Hoffmeister for doing the brave thing of changing her party to match her values and running through the tape, running with all of her might to give us a Democratic governor. Thank you. If you see Joy or anybody who worked on her team, because they worked really hard, thank them. I want to thank Melinda Elizalde Fard, who ran for lieutenant governor. I almost couldn't go to a county meeting where she wasn't there or hadn't been there. Thank you to Gina Nelson, who ran for superintendent of public instruction. That race gave us hope. It gave us hope for our schools, which what we know now, because we didn't get the outcome that we want, is that we're going to have to be ever vigilant and hold the person who was elected accountable to actually improving schools, instead of just making videos in his car and spouting catchphrases. I want to thank Warigia Bowman and Charles DeCoon and Jack Henderson and all the people who ran for State House and State Senate, all the people who ran for municipal offices. Thank you. Thank you. And if you see them or you see anybody who volunteered for them, thank them. They need it because they're tired. They are really tired. Now I want to remind you guys of some of the wins, because we did have wins, even if the news isn't talking about it, even if it's not making headlines. We did have wins. In the 2022 legislative session, there were 18 House members that were Democrats. 18 House members that are Democrats. We will go into the 2023 session with 20 House members that are Democrats. That's a gain. And it's no easy feat because we had 5 House representatives for a multitude of reasons did not run again. 5. We ran 5 seats, and all 5 of those seats were retained. That's a big deal. And then we picked up a seat. So now we're at 20. That's a win that we need to celebrate. And you need to remind yourself when you're thinking, oh, we didn't get this office. We actually had wins. Democrats haven't had a gain in the state house in over a decade. Uh-oh. That's a big deal. That's a big deal, and we need to celebrate it. The DA in Oklahoma County, Vicki Bahana, she ran against a seasoned politician who was mapping his way for higher office, and she stopped him dead in his tracks. So congratulations, Vicki Bahana. If you see Vicki or anybody who worked on her team, thank them for the work that they did, because he had a whole machine behind him. She was able to beat it and win. So there were wins. There were wins in different municipal offices all over the state. It wasn't all for naught. It wasn't all doom and gloom. And you can't listen to the news. We have to identify what we did well. And we absolutely fielded good candidates in this cycle. Now, what we also need to do is we need to build our infrastructure in our state party, on a state level and on a county level, all the way down to the precinct level. You will be hearing more from the Oklahoma Democratic Party and your county parties on rebuilding, and from the federations on rebuilding. Because in our odd years, we reorganize and we elect officers from the precinct all the way up to the state. And we're starting that process now. So I'm asking you to think about what you can do and what you want to do. And if you made a phone call, participated in a text bank, drove a candidate around, dropped literature, and put out signs, I want to reiterate my appreciation and say thank you again. That is the work that got us as far as we did. We picked up 6. We picked up 6 new reps. 6 new reps that were not reps before. That is a big deal, and don't let anybody tell you that it's not. So the time for us to be trying to figure out what we're going to do at the next election so we're not all sad and frustrated is now. Now is the time to decide if you're going to be a candidate. Decide if you know somebody who should be a candidate that you'll vote for. Decide if you're going to hone your skills so that you can help candidates in 2024. Now is the time to do that. And folks stepped up this cycle that I didn't expect. I met so many people when I traveled the county parties who I'd never seen before, who were dedicated volunteers who were helping candidates. And some of those people were candidates before and knew how hard it was, and they stepped in and they helped other candidates. Looking at you, Jay Bridwell. That's what it's going to take. That's what it's going to take all over the state and all over the next 2 years to make sure that we're ready in 2024, that we're ready, that when a candidate steps up, that they know that they're going to get the support that they need. When a candidate shows up, you know that you are ready and that your vote will count, and we will make another gain. We have to continue to gain incrementally, continue to gain, and we can. But we have to start now. And I see Scott's hinting at it. Let's all get some rest, and that's true. Let's all get some rest. Take a minute. Process your feelings. Feel your feelings. Process them, and then come back ready to fight, because that's what we have to do. I did a lot of press today where I told the media, we're not done. Don't count us out. We are not only going to fight to rebuild our party so we have an opportunity to elect more Democrats, but in the meantime, we're going to hold the folks who got elected and threw their big parties and gave their not so gracious speeches. We're going to hold them accountable. We're going to hold them accountable for the next 2, 4, 6 years, depending on what the office is. We're going to hold them accountable. We're going to bring them closer to our values. Or we're going to make them know that they're not going to be there to serve us in their next term. That's what we have to do. We can't let them think that just because they got elected, their job is done. They have to represent us for the next 2, 4, 6 years. Thank you for joining me. Take some rest. Not all is lost. Get ready for the fight in 2024. Thank you.